Welcome to Blinds Abroad.
Hey everyone, Blinds Abroad is back with another Blinds Abroad restaurant review, and this week we are doing the Italian chain restaurant Zizzi in
Yeah.
quite a few locations around the UK, but we're the Nottingham one this time.
So we recently went there and I was really excited because I was craving a pepperoni pizza.
Gluten-free, of course.
Yes, gluten-free, of course. And so we got to the restaurant and when we went inside, we had to wait a little bit.
Yeah, we were a little bit just outside. There's like a little entranceway to the restaurant, and I hadn't quite figured out to go a little bit more inside to get to the actual person. Had you looked at this menu online beforehand?
Yes, I had. I had looked at the menu that morning we were going to go, and it was quite tricky to find their non-gluten-free items and vegan things. They were organized. I can't even tell you how I got there, to be honest. I just kept clicking around trying to figure out where are the non-gluten-free items because they weren't really in a link.
They're in like, because I did eventually find it as well
The
when I was
detail
looking through
section.
yeah, as you go through, there's like the normal bits, like for example, pizzas, and then underneath that there'll be like a gluten-free section for the pizzas, and then like say with pastas, and then a little gluten-free section for the pasta. But because there's not a gluten-free section for everything or a separate gluten-free menu, it's kind of just embedded within the main menu.
I found it very tricky to figure out and read with voiceover, but I eventually got there and realized, oh, okay, I can get a pizza. So
Yeah, I
I was
think most of
happy.
the regular pizzas they just do gluten-free versions of,
Hmm.
don't they? So
Yeah.
that's
Same with
good.
the pastas too.
Hmm.
And the desserts look really good. But we didn't get dessert. But I'm skipping ahead. But yeah, so when we went in the restaurant, there was a couple waiting in front of us, I think, and then some people came in behind us, and then we were like, oh yeah, we can move forward. It's just tricky to tell when you're blind like us because we don't want to just barge in somewhere and bounce off of people. That's very awkward.
I wasn't sure whether the person in front of me was a person or a plant. Turns out it was a plant. So we were okay after a
Hey,
while.
I've done the same thing. I've smiled at plants before thinking they were people. True story. It happened in my dentist office in America.
Did they smile back?
I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't know. It could have been a fake plant for all I know. But yes, I do tend to smile at inanimate objects, apparently. But yeah, so when we actually went inside the restaurant, I did notice that it was quite dark.
Yeah, it was at first, wasn't it?
Yeah. And when we actually were able to find the person to help us, you actually asked her if you could put your hand on her shoulder
Yeah, she
and
was
show
nice, and she
us.
was just coming in. She's like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, sure. Showed us to where our seats were.
which was really close.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have to walk far, did we? To be
Mhm.
fair, we didn't have to go downstairs in this one. But then also the tables, the way they're set out, there's like a long sort of seated bench across the back. And you find this is a lot of places. And then the two tables are like set out across. So all of even if you're sitting at a different table to someone, you're all on the same back bench. And then they have like individual chairs on the opposite side of the each
I
table,
didn't.
don't they?
Yeah, I was on the chair on
So
the
you're on the
opposite
chair
side.
and I sat opposite you.
Mhm.
But like along the back, it was like one long seat. Um, it was the same when we'd been to Pizza Box as well.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, the tables were quite close to each other, weren't they? We
They
had
were.
zero problems listening to the conversation between the people next to us, which I thought they sounded like they were on a first date.
I wasn't sure if they were brother or sister. I also wasn't sure if there were times where they were watching us because, or just on their phones, because there were times where they would go really quiet. I'm like, are they looking at us or looking at their phones? I have no idea because we were playing with pizza.
Mm. So what did you end up ordering?
So we actually ended up getting the same thing. It was oh, darn it, I didn't look at the menu. It's something Sophia,
Yeah, it's like a Carne
Carne
Sophia
Sophia.
pizza. It was basically like chicken, I think it was chorizo, venison, pepperoni. And there was I
There
think
was
there's
some
jalapenos on there
yeah,
as well, yeah.
but just a few because I was a little worried. I was like, uh-oh. But actually, it was really nice because the sauce was good, just regular tomato sauce, but the peppers added a little bit of kick to it, which I found actually really nice.
Mm. So the meat and stuff was good.
Hmm.
Like the actual
That
sauce was
cheese.
good. Cheese was good.
Hmm.
Here's my only issue. So the pizza come out on like a sort of longish board. It's not like your traditionally super
Well,
round
yours
pizza.
did. I got a pizza plate for
Oh,
mine.
did you?
Uh-huh. It was white.
And you got the gluten-free version. Mine
Yeah.
came out on like a wooden board, and it was almost like an elongated kind of pizza. It wasn't like properly round.
Oh,
It was almost like an oblong.
it was an oval?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my pizza. Here's the issue with it. It was as if it was ready to go out, and I don't know, maybe the chef just went, "Hey, have you dipped that in the olive oil yet?" And the other chef's gone, "Yeah, I've already done it." And then the head chef goes, "Well, bathe it again." Because when it came out, honestly, there was so much oil on this pizza. It was nuts. It was like dripping off.
Ew.
And by the time I'd eaten my, don't get me wrong, it was nice, but by the time I'd eaten my pizza, it was like slick with oil. And somehow it got on underneath the board. So I don't know how that had happened, but oh my God, there was a lot of oil.
That's true. You even used the receipt to wipe it up.
Yeah. Uh,
I did notice for the gluten-free one, I did notice that it was pretty, it almost felt floury to me. I kept having to wipe my hands off because there was a ton of oil on my plate as well. A really crispy crust. I think it's just a thing with gluten-free pizzas. I think they're just going to be flat and crispy, which is fine. But I miss a fluffy pizza crust. So if anybody knows how to do that, could you let me know, please? And gluten-free. That's what I need. But yeah, mine was good too. We also got a side of chips.
yeah, yeah,
Were
they're
they?
just skin on fries.
Mhm.
They're okay. They're
Yeah, they
fine.
were alright.
Yeah. Um,
And oh, what did you have to drink? I had a Coke,
I think I had a bottle of Peroni standard. They don't do on tap beers there. It's all in bottles.
but
But
I didn't. Either. Wait, did mine come
yours
in?
is a can, wasn't
Yeah, well, yes, that's right. Mine was in a can, and yours was, yeah.
it? Bottle.
We moved all the glasses, and was there a little centerpiece too?
It's like a little flower thing.
Yeah, we kind of
Bottle.
moved it over to the side of the table so we wouldn't have to worry about knocking those around. Oh, one thing I will say is so when we sat down at the table and we were kind of looking at the menus, I was going to you seeing it, but you were kind enough to you could read it and tell me just make sure I knew what pizza I wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I did we told them that we had a gluten allergy and so they had
You're a
a
specialist person,
specialist
didn't
come
they?
over
Yeah.
and they put a little sign on the table to say that it was gluten free because I thought I heard the whoever they were, the couple or people next to us kind of mentioned an allergy. I thought I heard at
Yeah, I
one
think so
point.
as well,
So
yeah.
that's definitely good service and they had no problems. Did not get sick afterwards, so it was gluten free.
Your service was good, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really was. Everybody was really nice and attentive. Got us the bill when we were ready, when we wanted it at least, and then we were able to just kick back and chill out. I did notice that because I had asked you if you could see, because I was having a harder time seeing until my eye adjusted.
Mm.
It was just it was all, it looked to me like, because there was a wooden table, it looked like the floor maybe wood, and it looked like there was wood on the ceilings too. And it took a second for my eye to adjust so I could see. But then by the time the meal came, I could see pretty well. How about you?
Yeah, again, it took a while for my eyes to adjust. It's still a bit dark for me. I mean, if you could, if you've got normal eyesight, it would be absolutely fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a bit tricky at first until my eyes adjusted. Um, Imagine if you've got a guide dog or anything like that, it might be a bit tricky to keep them down by the side of one of the tables.
Yeah, it was
They might
pretty
have to give
tight.
you a different table there. There was quite a few different tables to be fair, so probably be all right. And again, I imagine if you had a wheelchair as well, I suppose you could just put the wheelchair. You'd have to probably sit in the wheelchair,
Yeah, just roll
rather than
under the
sit.
table.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be doable, wouldn't it? You just
Hmm.
wouldn't sit downstairs. But yeah, okay. What would you give ZZ out of 10?
I would say a 7 out of 10.
Ooh, I'm gonna give it. I don't know. Service was good. The thing is, the
Yes,
service was like eight,
it was
nine.
great. Mhm.
The food, if that pizza hadn't been bathed in oil, I would have been putting this at around an eight.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say six.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
That pizza just let it down for me a little bit.
The oily factor. I
Yeah.
appreciated that it was piping hot and everything was melted and really good. I will say that. Everything was cooked through. It was just a bit too much oil.
Mm. But otherwise, good. I'd say
Mm-hmm.
give it a shot. And obviously,
Yeah.
we haven't tried the pasta or anything like that, so I imagine that'd fare better.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have just been the fact as well. I mean, it doesn't help the fact that the pizzas that we had are quite meaty, so they tend to be a bit greasier
Yeah.
anyway. But this was just another level oil. But the actual pizza itself was good.
Mhm. What
So
would you think of the price this
yeah,
time?
price is solid. I mean, it's one of those slightly more expensive chain Italian restaurants, a bit like Prezzo, where you might be paying around £18 a pizza. Um,
But it actually was a bit less than Prezzo, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. But it was good,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It was going, and you can probably walk in as well if you're just out in town on a weekday.
Yeah,
Have
we
a
booked
walk
a
in.
table.
Yeah, put it in the special requests if you've got any disabilities or anything. And like I say, the staff are more than happy to help you out.
Because they literally did
Mm,
help us out. Was it a staff or was it just some kind of person?
that stuff.
A staff.
Yeah,
Okay, I couldn't
but
tell.
yeah. But there, that's it for Zizzi's, and we shall see you again next time. If you've got anywhere that you'd like us to go, let us know. We'll go and check it out. Thanks for watching and listening to Blinds Abroad. You can follow us on socials and YouTube at Blinds Abroad, or email us at blindsabroad@gmail.com.
Join our community. Remember to like and subscribe.